your life by design and not by the default. You've got to design your life. I love it. Hashtag flourish, hashtag flourish, hashtag flourish. And this is the number one lesson I learned from Warren Buffett. Real wealth is built, not chased. People are broke because they're always chasing the next get rich quick scheme. They're always chasing the next passive income. Stop chasing money. Start building something of value. Real wealth is built, not chased. Warren Buffett actually turns 91 today. He bought his first stock when he was 11 years old. 11. I'm like, what was I doing at 11? Probably playing in the street with tires. Warren Buffett was buying stocks. He's 91 today. That's 80 years. Real wealth is built, not chased. He made his first billion at age 50. Real wealth is built. And these are the two wealth mistakes people make. Number one, they try to chase wealth, like I've spoken before. Forget about overnight riches. Stop chasing, start building. And number two, they want to protect wealth. Like, what do you mean, Richard? I was protecting wealth, a mistake. Last year, I was so honored when Real Success posted me on Instagram. They quoted me, one of my sayings where I say, wealth needs to be created and not protected. So if you guys are on Instagram, you can follow me at Rich Life Bali. And I shared that we were sold a lie to protect the little that we have. So the poor get poorer because they want to protect their wealth. But wealth was never meant to be protected. Wealth was meant to be created. You see, people that want to preserve wealth, that's a broke mindset. People that want to use money is not to spend it. The purpose of money is to use money to make more money. You're like, Richard, how the hell do you do that? Assets. But wealth needs to flow. If it's stuck somewhere, hoarded somewhere, it's stagnant. People that want use of money needs to be out there creating more wealth. So someone comes to me with a wealth protection plan, I run away. That's for broke people. Wealth needs to be created, not protected. So if you guys want a declaration for 2022, every single year I start me with a declaration. So I declare something into the year because our words have power, our words have life. It's impossible to live a positive life and a negative mind. Our words have power. So if you guys want a declaration for 2022, this is it. In 2022, I will stop chasing passive income and I will start building passive wealth. If that's your declaration, guys, take a screenshot, tag me on Instagram at Rich Life Bali, tag Real Success at Real Success Net. Let's spread the word. Let people know that, you know what? Don't DM me with the get rich quick scheme. I'm not interested. Don't message me. Don't email me. This year, I'll stop chasing passive income. This year, I'm going to start building passive wealth. Who's with me? Just let me know. Say, Richard, I'm with you. I take this, a declaration for me. I'm with you. I'm with you. This is my declaration for 2022. No more chasing. Start building. Awesome. I love seeing all the comments with you. Come on, guys. Let's declare this into 2022. This is not business as usual this year. No. This is a new year. But want to be a new year, you actually have to do something new. Many people are waiting for something new to happen. Oh, maybe this is my year. Maybe this is a good year. No, you make it a good year. Awesome. Someone says 1,000,000%. I love it. But that's our declaration for this, guys. So tag us and share it and let's spread the word. So if Forbes had to interview you 5 or 10 years from now, what would you like them to write about in your cover story? Because here's the truth. You get to design your own cover story. Will it be from, deep in debt to completely financially free in 4 years? Because that was my story. I'll explain later. I wasn't born with money. I never came from money. I was born in Athlone, Cape Town, South Africa. I never came from money. I actually worked my way up from deep in debt. And I became completely financially free in 4 years. What's your story? Completely financially free in 10 years, in 40 years, in 100 years. Some people die with their debt, but you get to determine the X. You get to determine how long it will take you. But here's the truth. Who wants the truth? Let me know. Hashtag truth. Hashtag truth. Because there's so much noise and fear mongering and trash out there. Who wants the truth? I'm ready to speak some truth here tonight. Hashtag truth. And if you guys are wondering why I'm asking every time, because the same way you feed off my energy, I feed off your energy. So let's do this. Hashtag truth. Who wants the truth? I'm ready to bring the truth. This is the truth, guys. The longer you hang around broke people, the longer it will take you to be financially free. Tattoo that on your brain. The longer you hang around broke people, the longer it will take you to be financially free. You decide how long it will take. This is the truth, guys. Who we hang around is who we become. I'm just giving it to you straight. The quicker you elevate your circle to people who are actually financially free, your path to financial freedom is actually accelerated. And I'm not preaching here. This was my story. The day I changed my circle, my bank account went up and up and up. Many people laugh, but that's the truth. The day I got rid of my broke friends, my bank account went up and up and up because people rub off on us. They get into our thinking, they get into our speech, they get into our actions, they rub off on us. The quicker you elevate your circle to people who are actually financially free, your path to financial freedom is accelerated. If I'm speaking to you, say, Richard, you are speaking to me. You deserve better friends. You deserve a better quality of circle. It's time for you to audit your circle. It's time for you to elevate. It's time for you to elevate. Guys, I'm on a mission here and I want to take as many people with me. Who wants to elevate? Come on, hashtag elevate. Let me see that. Hashtag elevate. Say, Richard, I needed to hear this today. I can't start the new year with the same old broke people. I got to elevate. I got to elevate my circle because who I hang around is who I become. We call this the power of association. I got to elevate. I got to elevate. I love it. I love it. I love it. Come on, guys. We're going to elevate. We're going to go higher. We're going to go higher this year. So why is Warren Buffett my number one mentor? Not because he's a billionaire, but because he gives billions away. He's one of the biggest philanthropists of all time. So far, he gave away more than 41 billion. You see, when people say, oh, but money is not everything. Money can't buy happiness, and all the broke people clap. Amen, amen. They say that because they don't have money. Money is not supposed to buy you happiness. Money is supposed to buy you assets that create freedom. I want to repeat that. Money is not supposed to buy you happiness. Money is supposed to buy you assets that create freedom. Don't let that broke people with their excuses for being where they are rob you from your full potential. You have the exact same potential as Warren Buffett, Oprah Winfrey, exact same potential. We're all born with the same stuff. And that's the purpose of wealth, to create more wealth and to ultimately give it away. Because when we die, we can't take any of the stuff with us. And that's what I respect about Warren Buffett. He's the number one philanthropist of all time. I learned from Warren Buffett, the more we have, the more we must give. The more we have, the more we must give. That's why I tell people I don't spend money, because if you spend it, it's gone. I circulate money, because then it comes back. Money out, money in. Money out, money in. Like breathing. It is in abundance. So I never fear to give because I know the pipe that sends water is always wet. I want to repeat that. The pipe that sends water is always wet. When you give to someone, don't worry about you. You will always be wet. Give the water, you will always be wet. So I tell people, don't attack the top 1%. That's what broke people do. Learn from them. Admire them. In fact, join them. Like, what, Richard? I don't want to join the top 1%. Join them. Because the more blessed you are, the more you can be the blessing. You will be one of the good ones that uses your wealth for good as a change agent. Many people want to change the government and change the leaders and change their bosses. No one's listening because they can't even change their own lives. It starts with us. I must be real here. It starts with us. So this is my mantra that I live by. When we rise, we have an obligation to lift others up too. And that's why whenever Brian has the summit events and he invites me, I am there. Because what's the point if I'm financially free, but if everyone else is broke? What's the point? I'm not free unless we're all free. So I'm on a mission now. When I rise, we have an obligation to lift others up too. People say it's lonely at the top. No, it's only lonely because you never took enough of you along the way. And that's what it's about. We're elevating together. And before COVID, I lived in Bali, for those of you that don't know, for 2 years, stuck in lockdown. I know, stuck in paradise. So Brian and Real Summits had live events before COVID, and they beamed in on big screens. Wherever they had events, I said I'm there because it's all about my why. So I'm aligned with the United Nations Sustainability Development Goals. There's 17 of them, and I'm aligned with number 10 to reduce inequalities. So if you guys want to take a picture of that screen, you can take it now. So I chose number 10 and then also number 17, partnerships, because that's how it works. Through joint ventures, through collaborations. And I tell people I'm not about competition. That's a broke mindset. I'm about collaboration. There's enough for everybody. So my UN goal is number 10, to reduce economic inequalities. We can't do everything, but we can do something. So how do you define success? So like we all know there's different definitions for success. You guys are at the Real Success Summit. So we all have different ways we define success. I define success with a capital S and a small s. So success is not the wealth, not the health, not the relationships. Like, what, Richard? Aren't you speaking about wealth? Guys, if you got the wealth, if you got the health, if you got the relationships, you have success with a small s. Those are signposts along the way. Now that you got those things, you're in the game. Now what you're going to do? You see, those things are not success. They are all preparation for success. To reach your full potential, we must redefine success with a capital S. You see, to make money for me and myself, an individual, that's masculine, that's outdated. We need to make profit for the collective, and that's a feminine energy, where it's win-win for everyone, with no exploiting communities, no backstabbing. That's success with a capital S. Did I leave this planet better than I found it? And you don't want to leave this world the same way you found it. What a waste of a life. You want to leave this planet better than I found it. If you left this planet better than you found it, that, according to my definition, is successful. And like I said, we all have our own definitions. I can only share my definitions. And there's nothing wrong with the wealth, the health, the relationships. You need those to set you up for success with a capital S. Because if you sick in bed, you can't go broke, you can't help anyone, practically. So you go micro, you get those small S's, you get your life in order, you become financially free, but don't stop there. Go for the bigger S. Success for the collective. Awesome, awesome. I'm just seeing the comments here. Amen, amen, amen. It's like amen on a Saturday. I love it. I love it. I love it. So this is my mission, guys. I'm on a 10-year mission. My mission is to empower 1 billion people with the tools to set themselves financially free by 2030. Many people's like, 1 billion? Are you crazy? I don't hang out with those people. People say 1 billion. That's only 1/8 of the population. Let's go. Let's do this. That's the people I hang out with. Guys, if you're with me, let me know in the chat section. Say, Richard, let's do this. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hashtag let's go. Because this is not a one-man show. I can't reach 1 billion people by myself. It's going to take a collective effort. Awesome, awesome. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, guys. We're going to empower 1 billion people with the tool to set themselves financially free by 2030. And this is my purpose. See, I tell people there's a difference between passion and purpose. Passion is what sets you alive. And that's important. You must live a life on passion. You must be passionate about your life. But you must live a life of purpose. Because passion is for you. Purpose is for others. I want to repeat that. Passion is for you. Purpose is for others. And this is my purpose. This is my 10-year mission. And I'm so excited, you guys. All of you are with me. Hashtag let's go, let's go, let's go. So if I gave you $1 million, what would you do with it? And this is not a trick question. Just be honest in the chat section. Let me know if I gave you $1 million. If I had to write your check now, $1 million, what would you do with it? People are saying invest it, double it, triple it, open orphanage. Guys, I can't read all of this. It's coming through like lightning speed. But it all depends on one word. What would you do if I gave you $1 million right now? Mindset. You know, they did research and they said the poverty mindset thinks in days. Oh my word, what's the date now? Just a few more days and then my paycheck will come in. So a few more days and I'll get my wages. Just a few more days. The poverty mindset thinks in days. The middle class mindset thinks in months. Okay, what's the month now? Just a few more months and then I can take an end of year vacation. End of year holiday. Just a few more months. Let me hang in there. The middle class thinks in months, but the rich thinks in years. What is my 5-year plan? What is my 10-year plan? I tell people, even if you're buying your first stock, what's your 5-year vision for the stock portfolio? When you start your business, what is your plan? You don't have to have a step-by-step blueprint. Just have a picture, have a vision. The rich think in years, but the wealthy think in generations. And that's what I'm about, building generational wealth. The only way we break this generational poverty in our people is to teach them generational wealth. Don't give them the things you never had. No, teach them the things you never knew. Teach them how to invest. Teach them how to start their own business. Teach them about assets. This is how we build generational wealth for the next generation, the next generation, the next generation. So who here wants to be wealthy? Let me know. Who wants to be poor? Who wants to be middle class? Who wants to be wealthy? Come on. So I want to share a bit of my background with you guys, and I have 9 minutes left. Oh my word. Real summits, what's happening? I have 9 minutes left, guys, but I've been interviewed all over the place. Forbes, Fox, CBS, all over the place to share my story because I share the dirt. If you guys want the dirt, just let me know in the chat section, right? Hashtag dirt. Let me see it. If you guys, I don't want the dirt, I won't share the dirt. So just let me know. Hashtag dirt and I'll share the dirt. Dirt. Someone that logs in now must be thinking, what's going on here? People writing hashtag dirt. It's hilarious. Guys, we must have fun. If we're not having fun, what's the point? So So yeah, so I have a BCom in investments. I have an investments degree from University of Stellenbosch. But after university, I got my first job as a junior investment analyst. But the first paycheck I got, I blew it. I blew all of it because I wasn't used to money. And I had this attitude that I've arrived. My first paycheck, but I've arrived. I've made it. And I was just living the vida loca, buying drinks, buying rounds. I was that guy spending, like, making it rain every single day. And that went on for 2 years. I'm serious, guys. 2 years spending everything. That money never had a chance to breathe in my bank account. And after 2 years, I was almost $100,000 deep in debt. And I couldn't approach my friends because my friend was also broke. I took them in the blind, leading the blind. My friends were all in debt. We were all in debt. So I couldn't ask them for help. I took them in the blind, leading the blind. And I couldn't also speak to my family because honestly, I was embarrassed because I'm a firstborn. I'm the first one with a degree in my family, and I'm the one that's broke. I'm the one that's in debt. So I had a lot of shame there. I was embarrassed. So I went researching because I'm this analyst by nature. And I read ebooks. I watched webinars like this. I went to workshops. I got a coach. I got a mentor. After 12 months, I wiped out all of my debt. Because I found out two things: how to hack my mindset and how to hack my habits. And after 12 months, I wiped out all of my debt. And then a crazy thing happened. I was riding home from work one day and I saw this beggar at the traffic light. And the thought hit me, oh my word, this beggar is also debt free. Because that moment I thought, I'm the man. I wiped out all of my debt in 1 year. I'm debt free, but so is the beggar. The beggar is also debt free. It's like, okay, we're both debt free. Then I realized there's another level. There's financial freedom. So I went researching what is financial freedom. Many people want financial freedom, but they don't know what it means. And basically, financial freedom is when you have enough income from your assets to sustain your lifestyle. You no longer need to work because you're living off your assets. So I went researching again. What are these assets? And I found the stock market. I found Warren Buffett. I read 9 Warren Buffett books. I didn't just read. I applied everything I learned and I started investing on the stock market. And guys, 3.5 years later, my returns from my stock portfolio matched my paycheck as an investment analyst, and I quit my job. I was 24 at the time, living off my stocks. I'm 33 years now, marking my 9th year of complete financial freedom. Next year, I want to have a decade party. You guys must come to Bali. I want to have a 10-year party in Bali, financial freedom, the financial freedom party, a decade of financial freedom. And now I think I'm on the way to teach and empower others because I never became financially free once. I managed to sustain this now for 10 years. I have a proven model and I'm ready to teach, empower, inspire. But I tell people call me this overnight success, but it took me, I'm investing for 3.5 years, investing 40% of my paycheck, living off peanut butter and toast and coffee, losing all of my friends to become an overnight success. But was it worth it? Yes. I did what others won't. Now I can live the life that others can't. I did what others won't. Now I live the life what others can't. And that was the moment I saw that beggar at the robot, that there's another level here. Not just debt freedom, there's financial freedom. He was debt free, but he wasn't wealthy. How do you define wealth? I define wealth as the fancy car, as the flashy suits, flashy watches, and I went broke. Wealth is not flashing on Instagram. No. Wealth is accumulation of assets over time. That's how you measure net worth, accumulation of assets over time. Don't grow broke trying to look rich. That's a picture from Steve Jobs. He wore the same mom jeans and turtleneck for almost 20 years, and he was a billionaire. Don't go broke trying to look rich. Get into assets. Which asset has the highest ROI over the past 40 years? I researched all the assets. The number one asset was equities, listed shares on the stock market. That's what worked for me. That's what worked for Warren Buffett. And after 3 years, my returns on my share portfolio matched my salary, so I resigned. I'll never forget that day, because that's when my asset income replaced my active income. People can't sell me life insurance. I don't need it, because I have assets that will pay all my families and charities when I die. I've replaced myself. That was 2013. I'm 33 now, marking my 9th year of financial freedom. Next year, I'm going to have a decade financial freedom party. You guys are all invited. I'll keep the coconuts ready for you in Bali. Now, I'm invited to speak at the National Youth Development Agency on Youth Day. And I share this message I got from Trevor Manuel that mediocrity always attacks excellence. If you have haters in your life, it means you're a person of excellence. No one attacks the couch potato. The day you start your first business, the day you buy your first stock, the day you get coaching and mentorship, and you get courses and you invest in yourself, get ready to be attacked. But that means you are a person of excellence. Mediocrity is always attacks excellence. I live my life by 3 core values: wealth, travel, and freedom. That's my 3 core values I live my life by. You know, in South Africa, when I lived there in 2018, we had a march against gender-based violence. And I could be there because that wasn't a public holiday. That wasn't a national holiday. But I could be there because I don't have a job where I need to clock in and clock out. I have freedom of time to be out there doing what matters to me. So it's not about the stocks. It's not about the assets. It's about the freedom. You are literally buying your freedom. So imagine if you were able to do what's most important to you because you were living off your assets. Imagine you could have complete freedom. Imagine you didn't have to worry about paying bills, paying bond, paying rent, paying debt. If you are ready to change your story and tap into your true potential, which is infinite, if you are ready, if you are sincerely ready, I will be doing a free masterclass only for the Real Success community for a full 2 hours. Real Success only gave me 40 minutes now. I did my best to serve you guys. I poured my heart out here. But my masterclass I will be doing will be for a full 2 hours. If you guys enjoyed this 40 minutes, imagine a 2-hour masterclass to me. And I was speaking about assets, how to stop trade income, how to build passive wealth through assets. For the past 2 years, I've been living in Bali and visited 10 countries. I'm actually now in Istanbul. I'm flying out to Dublin tomorrow, so the masterclass will be coming live from Dublin. And Dublin is my 15th country. It's all about freedom. Once you make that shift from active income to asset income, there's no turning back. There's no turning back. Who here wants to make the shift with me? Just write in the chat section. I'm in. That is the title of my masterclass that I'll be doing next week. There will be no replays, so you guys want to be there. 3 secrets to financial freedom at the age of 24. Wow, it's going crazy in the chat section. I'm in. I didn't even post the link yet. Awesome. So that's the link there, guys. Realsummits.com/ /rich. And it's completely free. And I'm doing this only as a special favor for the Real Success community. We'll be completely live. I'll be coming from Dublin. So I'm very I'm excited for that. Candice and Saj, are you there? I apologize. I'm 2 minutes over, 40 minutes, but I hope I delivered on value for this awesome audience here today. Hope you guys got value. And please, guys, enjoy the rest of the summit today. Real Success always has power, packed speakers. So you guys are in for a treat today.
We are here. Richard, how are you doing, Richard?
My brother, I feel so pumped up now. I feel like we should do that masterclass right now because I have all this energy. I think I must go run around the block now because I got all riled up now. And now I have to be like, okay, bye.
You just imagine how Richard is going to be chomping at the bit to teach you guys come the masterclass. All you have to do is head over to realsummits.com/Rich. You know, Rich, I asked a question to another speaker yesterday. Actually, it was Peter Sage. And Rich, you've been helping students for a while. You know, this is not something that you just decided yesterday you wanted to do. You've helped tons of students, lots of people, different backgrounds, different parts of the world. Has there ever been a student that has come and worked with you and has done something or radically changed their life that has really touched your heart? I know that you can't pick and choose, you love all your students equally, but is there somebody that stands out for you?
You know, there's this one client of mine. I actually want to record a video of her. She is 60 years old. And she signed up to become my own investment manager because that's what I empower people to be your own investment manager. I tell people, don't use a broker. Brokers will make you broke. Be your own broker. And she signed up at 60. 2 years later, and she's crushing it on the stock market. She has her own investment portfolio. She's her own stockbroker. She's her own investment manager. 62 now, 63 next year. And my next goal is to get 18-year-old and let them be their own broker, let their own investment, to show people that age is just a mindset. And so as you alluded to, I have thousands of success stories, but that was the one that really, really stood out for me. That come on, guys, if a pensioner can do it, if your grandma can do it, you can do it.
You know, I think it also comes back to, there's a very similar story I had with one of my internet marketing students, and she was about 67 years old, and she said that she wanted to do this, but she was struggling. And generally, I looked at that and said, you know, maybe it's not meant for, maybe she's struggling. But then I had this thought and I said, well, you know, what if my mom wanted to do something different with her life? How would I want to teach her to believe in her? And that I changed my mindset completely. And she's gone on to do even bigger things than me with internet marketing. And I think that's what I love about you, Rich. Is like you can, you know, when we you know, as much as like we're speakers and so on, at the end of the day, you know, more often than not, we don't hardly ever have conversations about speaking. We hardly ever, hey, remember when we did the summit? And so we don't. It's you look at the people that speak on here, and one you stand out among a lot of people is that you truly care.
Stop it.
Yeah. And you know, and that's what I think what people need is that they need somebody who is not only gonna kick their butt in a nice way, but also truly cares not only for them, but for their kids and the generations that follow. And that's the ripple effect that you've been leaving with people. Because the truth of the matter, ladies and gentlemen, is that the stuff that Richard is going to be teaching you on the masterclass, they'll never teach it in school. Why? Because they're not equipped to teach it in school. Nobody is equipped to teach this at that level, because in order for you to teach first, you must have done it yourself. You want to head over to realsummits.com/.
Say that louder, my brother. I mean, the government wants teachers to teach entrepreneurship in the schools. Teachers can't teach entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs teach people. It's like, why didn't I learn this in school? You couldn't have learned this in school. Teachers can't teach you this. Teachers can't teach you how to make money because they don't have money. You see, people go to people that earn less than them to get advice. It's crazy. It's taking advice from their Uber drivers, from their broke friends. It's like, if you wanna grow your net worth, you go to someone that has a higher net worth than you. If you want to grow your business, you go to someone that has a bigger business than you. I mean, it's common sense, but it's not common practice. But I must say, I have huge respect for all my teachers. I'll never be the person that I am today if it wasn't for my teachers. Yeah. But you know what I'm speaking about in terms of money, that business and wealth is practiced. It's not a theory or a concept. And so you've hit the nail on the head. I think we need to turn it into a t-shirt or something.
Oh, we've already got t-shirts in line. Candace is designing t-shirts for me, for my brand. So you'll see that we want to do two things at the same time. Candace, you get to...
I feel left out now.
Rich, you know, you've got my heart. So you obviously, you don't just do t-shirts, Richard. You do rich flicks, okay? So with you, I'm going to do rich flicks. With Saj, I'm going to do t-shirts. Not diminishing your t-shirts, Saj. Not diminishing your t-shirts.
And the coffee mugs as well.
And the pins. Let's not forget the pins.
We're going old school, guys. What's next?
Are we going old school, Richard?
Mouse pads. I got. Actually, I want to show you the back. It's branding, but on the other side there is something.
Oh goodness! But Richard,
when last did I see a mouse pad? Yes.
You know what? I actually had to search for it quite high and low to get one because it's readily not available. And I haven't used the mouse in years.
Antique,
so this came. I bought something and this came with it, and I'm like, "What is this?" So, anyways, we digress. Go ahead and book your free spot right now on realsummits.com/rich. Get in there, learn the 3 secrets to financial freedom. And you know, Richard has been doing this for so long. His story is inspirational. But as much as Richard is a wealth teacher, a wealth coach, he's got such a holistic approach to it. There's spirituality involved. There's a relationship with not only yourself, but with other people. There's the health aspect of understanding where stress comes from, and all those things that build up together, unlocking wealth, meaning, and freedom that we talked about earlier. Richard really takes that to the next level and gives you those tips, those strategies, and those blueprints that he has used in order to make the same thing for himself become a reality. Being able to travel all over the world, being able to relax in Bali with his coconut and just be chilled. And what I love about it is that Richard, you know, there was a saying about Steve Jobs, with in his sister, I think her name was Mona Simpson, and actually I think that's where the character Lisa Simpson came from. Mona Lisa. Steve Jobs had this half sister, and on the first page of this book that she wrote was that Steve Jobs, a man too busy to flush the toilet. And I think the one thing about Richard is that a man too chilled never to miss a coconut. So I was like, that's
there's a part of me was, Richard, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie, Richard. I didn't trust the path of that story. I was like, I wonder where Saj is.
I brought it home, guys. I brought it home. But it also goes into every single people. Most of the people, 98% of the people are too busy. A person too busy to improve their life.
Too busy being broke.
To improve their life. So,
and that's why I tell people, when you slow down, you'll make more money. You're too busy chasing the next rich quick scheme. That's why you're always broke. If you look at wealthy people, they have time. They chill. It's the broke people that's always busy.
Yeah. 100%. Richard, we are about to move on to the great man Les Brown in 10 seconds. It is a pleasure having you with us on this very short section. We look forward to seeing how you expand on that in your masterclass. For everyone who has registered, It is going to be an absolutely incredible masterclass. Take notes and pitch up. Don't let Monday come around and the week come around and be like, oh, okay, that was fantastic. I was motivated and now I'm going to go back to life. Things will never change until you change. So go ahead and sign up at realsums.com/Rich. Rich, it's always a pleasure, my brother. And we'll see you back again soon.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Serge. Thank you, Candice. Much love, guys. Cheers.
Bye.
Fantastic, fantastic. All right, we're going to bring that slide down in 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, look at you giving a team a run for their money. They never know where you're going to start now. Is it 5? Is it 4? Is it 3? My goodness. Oh, man.
So we've got the poll coming up, and we've got about 83% of the room that have listened to Les Brown before. It's not a surprise when we see that majority of the room have listened to Les. He has, I'm not going to go into any introduction. That is secured to Candice. In actual fact, in Les's contract, I'm not allowed to introduce him. Candice is the only one who has exclusive rights to introduce Les. He's smiling. I love that. I knew that would be a smile.
Yes. Thank you very much for honoring that.
That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
Thank you very much. I had to go there.
Wow.
Fantastic. For the small percent of you that have never listened to Les before, I'm going to hand over to Candice. She's going to tell you a little bit more about our next speaker, and then we're going to bring the great man back on.
Thank you, Serge. The #1 motivational speaker in the world has inspired people from all walks of life. His unique way of storytelling will leave you laughing, crying, and motivated to change your life. He lives by the motto, you have greatness within you, and has the key to unlocking the greatness within everyone who listens to his powerful voice. So here with us today is the one and only Les Brown.
Thank you so very much. It's a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege to be in the presence of beauty and greatness. I'm so excited about sharing some thoughts with you about getting out of your head and getting into your greatness. And the reason that I am is because now more than ever, it's a time where people are reflecting on their lives and looking at what they're doing and what they've produced and what they've been able to achieve. And what we know is that people don't live life as it is. They live life as they are. We've created something called the Success Triad. And the reason we did that is to help people to begin to accomplish something that the majority of people will not accomplish without the methods and the techniques that we suggest in this program. Number one, that as you look at your life, look at your goals and look at your dreams, and I want you to envision your dreams, and I want you to raise the bar on yourself. Because I can say to you, and I don't know, you can't even see you, that you have greatness in you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. And now you got to be saying, well, Les, if that is so, why is it that I have not done more? Now, I had that same question too, because of the fact that I went for a long period of time not being aware of who I am and what I was able to do in my life. And I want you to write this down. The majority of people are victims of their environment, their conversations, and their observations. Their environment, their conversations that they hear, and the observations that they make. Now, so I want you to think about your goals and dreams, and I want to challenge you to raise the bar on yourself. Why? Because we can do more. But most of us unconsciously operate within the parameters that have been given to us, installed in our minds from our environment. And we give an example. The most money, when I first made 6 figures, that up to that point, the most I'd ever earned was $53,000 a year. But being in another environment where I saw people, observations, I heard conversations, and I saw demonstrations of people earning 6 figures in an hour something in me said, I can do that. Have you ever had an experience where you underestimated yourself? You convinced yourself you couldn't do it, and then somebody came along and did what you said you couldn't do, and you said, I need to rethink this. And so I had to rethink it. And as a result, I want to share some things with you that's important. One is I automatically rule certain things out for me because of my environment, because of my circumstances, because of my relationships. And so what we do in the Success Triad is help you to begin to lift yourself out of the indoctrination of the culture that most people are impacted by. See, most people don't know that they have greatness in them because we have been programmed to be mediocre, to value entertainment, to be a fan rather than being the architects of our own lives. And especially in my case, being labeled educable mentally retarded, put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade, failing again in the 8th grade, no college training, that I had this limited vision of what was possible for me. And so I want you to think about your goals, and I want you to raise the bar on yourself because you can do more. But here's the other thing, beyond what it is that you can accomplish more, but who you become in the process. That to me is the most exciting part. See, my oldest daughter, Dr. Ona Brown, and she asked me, Daddy, what was the most difficult thing that you've ever done? Was it, earning $1 million? I said, no. She asked, what was it? I said, the most difficult thing I've ever done, and it took me years to do, was to believe that I could do it. Earning the $1 million, that was the easy part. I didn't know anything about the stock market, about real estate, and the different other financial strategies that they have out here. I didn't know anything about that. But here's what I did know, that as you look at yourself, look at your goals and your dreams, that your state of mind has produced the lifestyle that you now have. If you're not satisfied with what you're earning, if you're not satisfied with the growth of your business, if you're not satisfied with the impact that you've made with your life, be not conformed to this world. You have to really create a shift in your thinking. And that takes work. And that's an ongoing process. At 77, I'm still reading. At 77, I'm still learning. And I am humbled after talking to Trudy Haynes yesterday. Trudy Haynes, who's 95 years young, and she still has goals. She's still working on dreams. She still has projects that she's producing and working on at 95 and not even thinking about retirement. She's refired. And so right now in this space, that we have to begin to really go deep. I want you to write this down and write it at first tense. I am the money. You are the money. I don't care what anyone says. See, because when you know who you are, when you work on yourself to begin to reverse the programming, we've been programmed to think small, to be mediocre, to be fans. We've been programmed to live a limited life. I remember I almost got in trouble, couldn't get out the country, I thought, for a minute. I was in the UK, and one of the members of the royal family, they saw people at my seminar, an article that people had said what they wanted to do and what they wanted to accomplish. And one of the members of the royal family said, who are these people who want to become entrepreneurs and doctors and lawyers and engineers? And he asked that out of his culture. Like, I dare them. They don't have it like that. And I got on stage. I said, who are you to say what we can't do? You are just a lucky sperm. And the audience got quiet. I was the only one laughing. My laughter was the only laugh in the whole auditorium. They're looking like, this is a new kind of fool we got up in here. A lucky sperm gonna tell people what they can't do. Anyhow, when you live in a culture that is structured against you, to deny you, to dismiss you, to destroy your sense of self, you don't have a clue of what you can do. And so I'm suggesting to you, you are the money. I want you to write this out. I am the money. And I want you to spend the time and the energy and the focus on working on your mind. The first thing when you get up in the morning, the first 20 minutes, whatever you listen to, that's going to affect the spirit of your day. When you first get up in the morning, you have all types of advertisers trying to set up camp in your mind, in the real estate of your mind. And so with all the stuff that's going on in the world today, the pandemic, the war that's going on in Ukraine, is saying it's not a war. Is that right? Don't believe your lying eyes. This is the time lying has become normal. I mean to tell you, blowing up buildings everywhere. Oh, that's not a war. Oh, is that right? Thank you very kindly. I never would have known that had you not told me. It's a different kind of place where we are. We have algorithms that's manipulating people's minds. I've got a 5-year-old great-grandson, and he loves his little video games. I mean, he spends a lot of time on it. I said, this is not normal. No, something's wrong with this. And so as we look at ourselves, look at our goals, and look at our dreams, you have greatness in you. And the people that know that, they take the time to know themselves. They take the time to find out what is it they want out of life. They take the time to ask the question, what is it that will give my life a sense of meaning and purpose? What is it that will give me a sense of fulfillment? What is it that I love so much that I'll do it for nothing? But because of my passion and my energy and my focus, I do it so well, I can't be ignored, and people want to pay me to do it. What does that look like? Because as you look at yourself, look at your goals and dreams, and this moment where people are distracted all around the world, when you are laser focused on finding out what is it that you have going for you, and focus on that and develop that, what you're able to accomplish are just unlimited. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. And this is the time you want to be serious. You want to mean business. So write this down. Conscious awareness. You got to be conscious of your thoughts. That they found, and studies indicate, with most people, 86% of people, when they look at something they want to accomplish, 86% of people, because of their culture, because of their environment, because of their programming, say to themselves, I can't do this. I can't do it. I know I did that for 14 years. I convinced myself that I couldn't compete with people with PhDs and MBAs and money that I did not have. I had this goal, I have this dream, I have this passion to help people, but my mind was working against me because of my culture, because of the observation that nobody on stage looked like me. So I felt that was not my place. I ruled that out for myself. And so I had to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort. I said, look here, I'm not going to close the door in my own face. I'm going for it. Come on now. I want you to know that you've got millions in you. You've got billions in you. And in order to get to that other part of yourself, in order to do the things that you want to do and what you want to envision for yourself, you got to work on you, because it takes resolve and determination. It takes a mindset that I got this. That's what it is. All millionaires happen twice. First in the mind and then in the without. And so what is it you want to do right now? What does that look like for you? To me, at this focus and this time of my life, spending more time with my family, with my children, with my 15 grandchildren and 4 great-grandsons. What does it look like for you? See, as you look at your life, some people, it's about having a lot of money. That's great. The young lady, former Miss USA, she had a lot of money and celebrity, and she jumped out of a window to her death. See, if you don't have a sense of self, if you don't know who you are, if you don't have a deep down resolve within you to handle the stuff that life is going to throw at you, and trust me, if they didn't tell you, if you didn't get the memo, stuff's going to happen to you and to people you care about. Really? Yes. Why? I don't know. It's called life. And so, and knowing that, brace yourself. Therefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, that having that all to stand, so that you don't fold. I want to prepare you that life is difficult. Achieving your goals, living your dreams, making it against all odds. It's not a cakewalk. It's difficult, and you can do it. It's hard, and you can do hard. But it's very important that you don't underestimate yourself and quit and give up when you encounter disappointments and setbacks, and when people around you, including yourself, tell you you can't do it. You don't know yourself like that. So what we've done in this Success Triad is provide a variety of messaging that will reverse the negative programming that we all have in our minds, that we are even unaware of how it's impacting our present and our future and the things that we have ruled out for ourselves. So this is a time, especially now, that you want to work on you. You want to bet on you. You want to begin to own your mindset that you are a king, master the king in you, so that you can master your life. You are a queen. You deserve the best that life has to offer. So working on yourself consciously, listening to messages on a regular basis that will expand your vision of yourself, that will get you out of your history and allow you to live out of your imagination. That's why we're taught, I'll give you all your eyes can see, and live your life from where you want to go. What do you mean that? What do you mean by that? Believe it in. Believe it in. Help me out, brother. Help a brother out up in here. Here's what I mean by that. That you want to hold on to that belief tenaciously through all the failures, through all the disappointments, through all the setbacks and all the things that are going to happen to you. You got to believe it. You got to hold the vision like it's already here right now. Have the feeling, have the emotion, have the experience. Here's something else. Practice this principle. This is major. Look at your relationships and evaluate them often and ask this question: what is this relationship doing to me? Let me give you an example. The most money, I was doing an event. If you go online, you put in Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. That was the first time in my life in 34 minutes I earned just over $100,000. So I thought that was something. And then I went to another event 3 years later, and I saw people on stage and went to events where people were generating $500,000 to $1 million. I said, whoa. Remember I said, through observation, I saw this. I said, wait a minute. They put their pants on one leg at a time like I do. I watched, I observed, and I told myself, and I want you to write this down, Affirm yourself. Talk to yourself. It might be the most intelligent conversation you will ever have. I talk to myself and I answer myself. I remember I had to do a presentation at Procter & Gamble, and I saw all of these other presenters with all of their electronic equipment and PowerPoint presentations, and I didn't have any. And I went to the bathroom to talk to myself because I became intimidated because I had a cardboard visual aid that I had put together. And so I went to the bathroom and I said, Les Browns, you don't care anything about their electronic equipment and their PowerPoints. You've got children to feed. You've got a mother you got to take care of. I'm walking back and forth talking to myself. You got this. You're not intimidated by them. You were chosen to do this. And I came in that room and I was looking with a look of, as I looked at the people who had to approve the contract, my look was, the only reason you were spared from birth control was to give me this contract. They said, Mr. Brown, where's your PowerPoint? I said, I am the PowerPoint. I gave the presentation and I got the contract. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, here's something else. As you look at yourself, look at your life, put yourself to the test. You want to test yourself. See, many times, and I've done this myself, I said, I don't know how to do it. Anything that you attempt to do, at first, you don't know how to do it, and it's difficult. Give yourself a shot. I decided that I was going to learn. I was going to study. And this is the time, we're in the age of the rise of the robots. They got robots doing everything right now. I saw a robot have a baby the other day. I said, now, you know something's wrong with this. I said, I wonder will the daddy pay child support? Because I didn't see the daddy at the side of the wife of the robot. The husband, as the wife was giving the birth. Unbelievable. This is crazy where we are right now. Robots making hamburgers, cleaning bathrooms. Come on. The end of work, the end of jobs. A new era is coming in. And the future belongs to the people who prepare for it, who work on themselves, who upgrade their knowledge and upgrade their relationships, and who challenge themselves to learn new things. That's what you have to do. You have to challenge yourself. And so my friends, most of my friends at 77, they're sitting around looking at old movies on Netflix or calling each other saying, did you hear who died? No, tell me who lived, who's still here. That's what I want to know about. Come on. No. I'm focused on living. And when you have goals beyond your comfort zone, goals that challenge you, that bring the best out of you, goals that introduce you to a part of yourself that you don't know right now, it gives your life a sense of power and meaning and joy. People ask, why you laugh so much? Because I'm happy. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. You know what? Y'all can't handle the voice. Come on now. I know I sound like John Legend or Johnny Mathis. I don't know. It's a combination, or Nat King Cole, okay? Be that as it may. That's another ticket. And so here, life is for laughing, for loving, and for living. I didn't say surviving. I didn't say struggling. It's about having a resolve, having a mindset that my life is not going to go down like this. I'm going to change what is here. I don't approve of this. This is not me. And I'm going to create something else. I'm not going to point at my circumstances, my situation, my lack of money. I'm not going to point at the government. I'm pointing at me. It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. And sometimes you have to get an attitude with yourself. because I looked at myself and looked at my life and saw I was behind on my bills and my dreams. I got my children lying when they answered phone. Hello, may I speak to left round, please? I'm sorry, but my father said he's not here. Come on. No, I said, being broke sucks. And that's not me. I want more for myself. I want more for my children. And when I go, I want to leave a legacy, not a liability. You know what they have going now in different areas of the United States? They have GoFundMes for funerals, selling T-shirts for funerals. Are you kidding me? Come on. No, I'm not going out like that. See, when you look at where we are right now, adversity creates opportunity. In adversity, in the midst of it, there is a crisis and there are opportunities. This is an incredible time to be alive. We have everything we need at our fingertips to learn, to develop global partnerships, to develop new skill sets, to navigate the stuff that's going on in our lives. But you've got to be serious. You got to be hungry. You've got to know that you are not here by no accident. You got something. God had a lot of choices. He chose you out of 400 million sperm. Whoa, look at those numbers. You got something that the world needs. And I didn't always have this level of determination because I was just following the crowd, doing what everyone else was doing, working on a job. They paid me just enough to keep me from quitting, and I worked just hard enough to keep from getting fired. If you understand what I'm talking about, and you're with your boss right now, just blink your eyes. Don't raise your hand. Come on. And I got tired of that. And everywhere I went, I was always having challenges. And I realized it just wasn't me. See, in life, when you don't have enough insight into who you are and what you're supposed to be doing in life, life is punishing. It's hard to get a good night's sleep. When you're spending 40 to 50 hours a week doing something that's not you, and you know in your heart of hearts, not in your mind, but in your heart of hearts, there's more in you. You know in your heart of hearts what you are doing. That's not you. That's not the way to go through life. And tiptoeing to an early grave. No. And so when you look at yourself, look at your goals, look at your dreams, and what will teach you how to reach beyond your comfort zone, how to reinvent yourself, how to begin to expand your vision of what's possible for you. Because at the end of the day, the things that you can do, eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor has entered the heart of mankind what God has in store for you. If you listen to what I'm saying to you, if you challenge yourself to get out of your comfort zone and discover a part of yourself that you'll never discover in your comfort zone. Life is about growth. It's about challenging yourself. It's about realizing that you will fail your way to success. It's about knowing it's lonely at the top, but you eat better. Yes, and it's about detoxifying your life. There are some people who can't go where you want to go. Why? Because they don't have dreams. They're not working on themselves. They're not pushing themselves. He that hath shall get, and he that hath not, even that he has, shall be taken away. I thought that was cold-blooded, but it's real. He that hath what? Ambition. The difference between me and my brothers and sisters, my drive, my ambition, my unwillingness to settle for the life that I had at that point in time. I just said no. I was like Fannie Lou Hamer, who said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I said, no. I never forget at this time I was married, and I came home one night and I said, boy, that guy, Bert, he is just stupid. And my former wife asked me, if he's stupid, why is he signing your paycheck? You see why I divorced her. I couldn't sleep that day. I said, oh my God, I got a stupid person signing my paycheck. If he's stupid and I'm working for him and he's telling me what time to be in, how long my lunch break is going to be, I got to go to him and ask what day can I go on vacation and how much I'm worth. What does that make me? You know, some things you just don't want to know. So I said, no. And so life serves us notice many times. People who give us hell on a job. You know why? They're angels, because the universe is saying, I got something else for you. And many times we suffer from delayed enlightenment. We don't realize how much we really have going for us, that we should be a CEO, but we have this limited vision that we've been conditioned and programmed to believe that's as far as we can go, or barriers in front of us to make it challenging for you to get through. But that's still no excuse. You got to fight your way through. Life is a fight for territory. You have to have an attitude. And so as you look at yourself, look at your goals and dreams, you've got to be mindful of your thoughts. Of your thoughts. What do you mean? We can't control the thoughts that come in our minds, but we can control the thoughts that we dwell on. Listen to motivational messages on a regular basis. But not only that, write down the things that you want to get out of each day the night before. See, the majority of people, when they get up, 99% of people, they are just trying to make it through the day. They are part of somebody else's agenda. You want to create your own agenda. You want to have a goal and a vision of what you want to get out of the day. You create your own agenda, not just being a part of somebody else's. And sometimes you have to do that until you can create your own. And that's okay. But don't let that be your permanent residence. No, you've got to challenge yourself and you've got to be vigilant and relentless and looking for new things and new ways that you can use your time and your energy and talents. I used to be a state legislator. I used to be a photographer. I used to produce concerts. I was a disc jockey, LB, Triple P, Les Brown, your platter playing Papa. There were none before me. There will be none after me. Therefore, that makes me the one and only. Young and single, love to mingle, certified, bona fide, indubitably qualified to bring you satisfaction, the whole lot of action. Bam, he's gone. He's gone, honey. I had to kill them all. I said, no, I can do more than just entertain. I'm a thinker. I got talents. I got abilities that's waiting for me to focus on them and develop them and bring them out in the marketplace and fight for my piece of the action. That's what the name of the game is right now. You want to fight for your piece of the action. That some of the money has not left the planet. That's got your name on. They got all kind of stuff now, cryptocurrency and rubies and American dollars. They got all kind of different ways that people are manufacturing money right now. Come on. It's never a shortage of money. It's just a shortage of thinking, a shortage of being resourceful, a shortage of being limited in our vision of what we can do and what we can accomplish, and challenging ourselves, pushing ourselves, monitoring ourselves, making a conscious, deliberate, determined mindset that you're going to move your life from where you are now to where you want it to be, not what somebody else say you can go and you can be. Taking time to reflect on your life. I'll never forget this guy. He was asking a question. to people in the audience. Why are you here? What brought you here? Where are you going? And a lot of people could not answer that question. And some of them just were there because somebody invited them. But there are a few people like me. I was there looking for some tools, looking for some answers, looking for some relationships, some contacts, some information that will unlock a different future for myself. Because the path that I was on couldn't take me where I wanted to go. What did it say? Insanity is doing the same thing and the same way, expecting a different outcome. No, I knew that if things going to change for me, I had to change. That's why we created this program. And I want to make this very clear. Transformation is not an event. Let me say that again. Would you please, sir? Absolutely. Transformation is not an event. It's an ongoing process. We evolve continuously. When you stop evolving, when you stop learning, somebody asked the question, when is it that a man dies? I say a man dies when his dreams die. When you have nothing to live for, that's when we die. When you don't have anything in your heart that you are hungry for. And the reason you're listening to me is because you're different. You're strange to your family members and your friends. You're an alien, but I'm not going to tell. I'm going to keep it on the down low, okay? Because most people, they're bought into the programming. Most people spend more time, more energy, more money and looking good and watching other people live their dreams and not pouring $1 into themselves. Studies indicate that the average person, unlike you, the average person spends less than $20 a year on their personal growth and development. That's why the Jewish carpenter said, oh, by the way, all power is in my hands, but did I tell you, the poor will always be among you. Why? The road to life is straight and narrow. And few there be that find it, because few people are looking for it. Most people are fine with surviving, fine with somebody telling them what time to get up in the morning, how much they're worth. They're fine with their circumstances, their environment, how much they're earning. They're fine with that. How do you know that? Because I used to be there. I used to feel like that. But when I went after my dream, and I want you to be with me on this, there's a cost. There's a sacrifice. I used to sleep in my office on the floor in the Penobscot building in Detroit and bathe in the sink down the hall. And security, they thought I was funny. They said, look at this dude talking about living your dream. And here he is sleeping in his office. One time I was hiding in the closet, me and Larry DeAngie, when the janitorial staff came in the middle of the night. And so a new guy heard our sound in the closet. He opened the closet door. There Larry is, Larry DeAngie, I call him the Italian stallion, and myself, we in the closet in our underwear. And the guy opened the closet. Oh my God, what are you doing here? I said, it's not what you think, big boy. I said, please don't tell management. He said, I won't, man. He said, I didn't know what you were going to say. He said, you are crazy. I said, thank you. Look here. In the good times, you put it in your pocket. The difficult times, you put it in your heart. And so you're going to face some difficult times because life is difficult. Stuff's going to happen that you will never see coming. And you have what it takes. You are more than a conqueror. And it's about being relentless, of looking for ways to win in spite of the rejections, in spite of what other people have done. I can't tell you the number of people say, man, you're wasting your time. Talk about being a motivational speaker. We got over 3,000 speakers. You're nobody. You don't have the money. You're not on television. You're not a celebrity. You don't have the resources they have. You have the complexion of rejection. Come on. Have you ever wanted to do something and you have people who should encourage you, tell you couldn't do it? Here's something I encourage you to listen to me on. Never let someone convince you that you can't do something, especially if they haven't done it. When I talk to you about you having greatness in you, when I talk to you, in which I'm going to be talking tomorrow, how I made my first million. When I talk to you about you have the ability to generate millions, to generate income and influence and impact on the planet that will amaze you. And we've all had moments in our lives where we've said to ourselves, I can't believe that I'm doing this. I can't believe it. Where we surprised ourselves. This is your time. Make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to monitor your thinking and the choices that you're making and the people that you're around. There's some people that you need to clean house, Operation Clean House. They need to go. Why? Because you earned within $2,000 to $3,000 of your closest friends. When I found that out, I got all my broke friends out of my house. I said, y'all got to go. Woo! I don't go away bad, but you got to get out from up in here. No. And as a result of being at an event, I saw people making $500,000, $1 million in less than an hour and a half. I said, some of that money's got my name on it. And that night, I made $410,000. That night, that's the most I'd ever made up to that point in time. And what changed? What I saw, observation. I said, whoa, here's something else. I was willing to be open to learning. I didn't know how to do it, but I was willing to learn. If you're ready to learn, if you feel in your heart of hearts that there's something in you that you want to get out before you leave here. I mean, I'm looking at my life differently. Bob Proctor just left. And when someone dies that you know, it causes you to look at your own mortality. And asking myself constantly, what do I want to do with the time that I have left? What is it that I might be looking past? What talents do I need to develop? What relationships do I need to dispose of? What relationships do I need to deepen? What experiences do I want to have? See, I think we have to be conscious and deliberate about living a life of no regrets. That we were conscious, we were aware of our talents, our abilities, our dreams, and we gave ourselves a chance. Bet on you. You've got greatness in you. You can do more than you can ever begin to imagine. Challenge yourself, and you'll be surprised. You know, to me, I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. Religious people are afraid of going to hell. Hell to me is what you experience when you die and you meet the person that you were supposed to become. And hopefully that person will not be eating watermelon like Saj. That's my story, and I'll stick it to it. I had to go there.
You had to. I actually told all the VIPs we should all go out and get watermelon. And when Les is on, we should just take the watermelon, put it in our mouth like a big smile. But fantastic.
Oh, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've got a couple of questions for you. If you could measure the percentage of how you're feeling from before Les came on to how you're feeling right now, what would be that increase? Whether it be increase in happiness, whether that anxiety has been lifted, whether you're feeling like you're unstoppable and you want to go forth and conquer your hopes and dreams. We've got 1,000,000%, 100% pumped, 80% plus, over 100% hopeful, cheerful, unstoppable. Guys, and now I've got another question for you. Put a yes in the chat as if it makes sense that in order for you to continue with that Les Brown is the man for you. That there is no one on the planet who has made a difference in the people's lives all over the world like Les. Put a yes into the chat if that makes sense. Because if it makes sense and you putting a yes into the chat right now, the chat is going crazy. Tons of people, thousands of people are putting a yes in there. In actual fact, I can't even see all the names because it's going so quickly. So if it makes sense, guys, go ahead and bring my presentation up. I have got an incredible opportunity for you. Les has been talking about the Success Triad. Now, I want to give you a little bit of inside information. The Success Triad is not available to the open public. It is only available today, right now, for you guys. It is going to be a price that we're never going to repeat ever again. And I'm going to go through that with you. It is 9 life-changing instructional videos. The first one is read 30 pages a day. Let's going to teach you how to cultivate a habit around reading. You know, we heard about Warren Buffett and so many multi-billionaires who spend most of their time reading. How do you start that habit? And what do you read as well? You know, what do you read? Listen to Les. He's going to teach you how to put the right type of information into your mind to get the right type of results. Somebody says, yeah, we can get free information on YouTube. Yes, but with free information comes a lot of misinformation. And as Les says, don't take constructive criticism from somebody that's never constructed anything in their life. Number 2, it's about creating a morning ritual. When you dominate your morning, you dominate your day. The way you start your morning plays a fundamental role in the success that you are going to get in your day. So number 2 is about creating a morning ritual. Number 3 is about dressing for impact. Les is going to teach you how you can use different colors, how you can put yourself out there in terms of branding yourself to get people to believe that you are confident, that you are going to help them with their business, that when they're listening to you, they're listening to somebody who has the answers that is going to take them from where they are to where they want to be. Number 4, create a definitiveness of purpose. How do you create a life of purpose? How do you find out what your purpose is and how can you fulfill it? And how do you make sure that you're fulfilling the right type of purpose? Your purpose, not somebody else's purpose where you're working 9 to 5 to make somebody else's purpose and dream a reality. How do you fulfill your purpose? Number 5 is defining your goals. We've all heard about goals and plans and to-do lists and so on. But if you're setting goals that are not aligned to you, if you're setting goals that are there for other people, if you're setting goals to impress people that look down upon you, you're setting the wrong type of goals. Setting goals that are going to inspire you, motivate you from within, that will go out and change the world and get you to where you want to be. Les is going to teach you his principles of how to define goals that are fundamental to you and your success. Number 6 is detoxing your life. We always get the question, Saj, how do I change my circle of influence? How do I hang out with the millionaires and the billionaires and the people who are going to make a difference in my life? Well, it's time to detox your life. Les is going to show you how to do that. How do we move away the naysayers? What do you say to them in a loving, in a gentle way? Not just, hey, get away from me, I want to hang on to millionaires, but how do you manage to cultivate that circle of influence? Number 7, one step at a time. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I know that you are on the summit and I know there's lots of things that are going through your head. In actual fact, you can see success, but you can see success on top of a staircase and it scares you. Let's not look at the staircase. Let's look at the first step. And Les is going to teach you how to take one step at a time. Number 8 is build your success team. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Les is going to show you how to attract and to keep the right type of people. Now, I know in the back of your mind, you might be saying, Serge, I can afford a team. Well, that's thinking. That is working from a space of scarcity. Les is going to teach you exactly how do you become the type of person that people flock to work with you, even if they don't get paid, because they're pulled to you by the vision and what you want to achieve. Number 9 is about inspiring others. When you can inspire others, that is when you reap the rewards in your own life. And a bonus that has just been thrown in is the 12 laws of success that is valued at $497. You get that absolutely free today only. That is a bonus for anyone who joins today. They're going to get that bonus at $500, guys. $500 bonus absolutely for free today. The total value of this, if you put Success Triad together with the 12 laws of success, that is going to be $997. Now, I'm going to knock that price down. I want you to tell me how far I should knock that price down. If you think I should knock it down by 50%, go ahead and put 50 in the chat. Let me know, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in right now, if you are serious and you want to work with Les Brown, the great man himself, go ahead and put that 50%. Somebody says, Stats, don't take anything off. Don't take anything off. It's actually valued as it is. Don't take anything off. And I'm going to ask you another question. Let me know, yes or no. Is it fair? Would it be fair if I said, you know what, I'm not going to discount it. For you to work with Les in the Success Triad, I'm going to give it to you for $997. Put a yes or no. You can be honest. The chat is on private. It's only me that gets to see it. Would it be fair if I gave it to you for $997? Would it be fair? Would that be the price that you would pay to work with Les Brown, a man who's been paid millions of dollars or to travel all over the world? Guys, I'm going to do something ridiculous right now, okay? What if I gave it to you for 53 cents? But you only had today to do it. It would put a 1 into the chat. What if I said 53 cents, put a 1 into the chat? Would you do that? 53 cents, lots of ones coming in there. Guys, okay, I'm going to give it to 53 cents per day. Because at this incredible price of $197, if you sign up today, all you're spending is 53 cents per day. And I can guarantee you that if you sign up right now, you will make that investment back so quickly, so quickly. It is not about, it's not about paying. Okay. It's not about what you're going to buy. It's about how much you're willing to invest in yourself. Are you willing to go a year in your life without a Starbucks coffee? Are you willing to go a year in your life without Netflix? Are you willing to go a year in your life without Uber Eats? If you're willing to do that, then you're willing and ready and able to accept the success that is coming your way. Today, only $197. All you have to do is head over to realsummits.com/LB. $197. That is the best price we can do that. We marked it down from $997 and we threw in that bonus. Guys, it will only work out to 53 cents per day. What are you willing to sacrifice? They say that if you do not sacrifice for what you want then becomes the sacrifice. A year from now, you're going to look back at this moment and you're going to think about all the things that were expenses rather than investments in your life. And for those of you who are on the fence right now, you know, the universe, God, whatever, the powers that be, reward people that take action. So for today only, it is limited to 100 people. 100 people are going to get into the Success Triad right now. All you have to do is head over to realsummits.com/LB. The link is in the chat. It is ready and waiting for you to take that next step to go on.
You're leaving something out.
What am I leaving out, Les?
Volunteer to do a 90-minute training for people who sign up now. A free 90-minute training.
You're doing a 90-minute training. The team, nobody told me about that. No,
yes.
Guys, can you?
Talk to Stephen. He'll hook a brother up. Yes.
Guys, today only 90-minute extra. I'm gonna, guys, just take my presentation off. I'm gonna include it on the slides right now. Yes. So that is, Les, you're giving another 90-minute presentation.
Absolutely. Listen to me. I teach, live your life the way you want to live your life. most people, when I ask them, what would you change in your life if you knew you had 3 months to live? The majority said they would quit their jobs or get out of a relationship where they're dying together rather than living together. You know what I would do, Sarge? I'll do more seminars and workshops. I'll speak everywhere. Why? Because that's what I do. That's why I'm here. And I know that there's somebody listening to me that's in a place that they need to hear my voice. And the reason I do it free, I'm here because of God's grace and mercy. I'm here because I'm a 29-year fourth-stage conqueror of fourth-stage cancer. 29 years. 29 years. This is what Cancer Centers of America gave me. They don't have no patient they've ever had that 29 years kicked cancer's butt. Fourth stage. And I know that's God. This and here's the other thing. This is, I believe the people that are listening, there are people who listen for a little while, they're gone. But the people that are listening, what I'm saying, they already know it. It's common sense, but not common practice. What I'm saying, it's in them. They know it. It's in them. They can feel me in their heart. They know it. And this is not for everybody, but anybody that's listening on that day, I'm going to be on fire. I am so excited. I got such an incredible report from Cancer Centers of America. They said, we can't believe it. Cancer's metastasized to 7 areas of your body. And it's like something came to your immune system that said to cancer, get the hell back. Get back up, buddy. And I think that when you have purpose and meaning and live a life of service, that you get favor. You get favor in life. And I believe that I've been granted favor, and I want to help others, people who say, you know what, I want the program, but I like to be in a little session with him one-on-one and let him come into our group and talk to us. I don't know if they can handle it. I think you need to have some ambulances outside because I'm going to bring it. I'll get the butter from the duck. Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me?
All right, cool, guys. 100 available spaces.
Sarge, this is not for you.
I know. I'm not. What's the guy? The Italian stallion? I'm not him in the cupboard.
Okay.
I know who that heart's for. Guys, we have limited only to 100 people. We are going to stick to that because of the additional 90-minute coaching with Les. Yes, he said he's giving it to you for free, but guys, that's worth thousands of dollars. So if you purchase today, if you make the investment in yourself right now, you will qualify for that. Our team will sort all that stuff up. Don't worry about it. Just get in there. We will make sure that you will get access to that. The Success Triad, 9 life-changing instructional videos, the 12 laws of success bonus, the 90-minute coaching with Les, 197. We can't go any lower, otherwise we'll be paying you to attend. 100 people. I'm just looking at my screen at the moment, and I can keep seeing the numbers going up and up and up. And it looks like we've only got 18 spaces left. There are literally thousands of people on here right now. Thousands of people. And if not this, then what? If not now, then when? Do not look back at your life and say that this is not, this was the moment I wish I'd made that change. You know, it's Les does this because he loves to do it. This is not going to move the needle for him. This is not going to change his financial status. No. He does this because he sees the greatness within you. And he wants to make sure that if you don't see it in yourself, and he has a wonderful saying, you can't see the photograph if you're in the frame. And right now, a lot of you guys are in the frame. Let him show you what he sees from the outside and how he can take that greatness out. The Success Triad, head over to realsummits.com/LB. The link is in the chat. And Les, all our team have Success Triad access. We listen to it when we're feeling down, when we need to be motivated, inspired. And it's something that can radically change your mood, no matter what you're going through.
And we need that now more than ever before. Emergency rooms all around the world are reporting where people are coming in full of anxiety, high levels of depression, and also advanced illnesses. Why? Because your state of mind affects your health. Mm. And so we have to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to program ourselves for health and love and joy, and be intentional and deliberate about this. Because at this space where we are, we've never been in this kind of space before. Our children are impacted, and we need to have experiences. And part of what we're going to do is teach people techniques and strategies on how to identify behaviors that reflect that your children have disengaged and might be entertaining self-destructive behavior, because they're listening to us. And we're living in a time where there's a climate of hopelessness, of powerlessness. And what we have to do is help them to realize they're 40% of the population of the planet, but they're 100% of the future, and that we are working proactively to create a different kind of world than what they will inherit. And I believe that we can only do that when we are willing to be the example. It was Jim Rohn who said, when the end comes for you, let it find you conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. So this, I want people to have their kids watch it, and I'm going to have 2 of my children with me as well, because we want to hit the parents and the children. And whatever's happening to you on a personal level, it will affect your professional performance. That's been proven. And so what we want to do is impact the whole household with this message and this training, and provide additional methods and techniques that, with the limited time that I have now, that I'm not able to get it in.
Les, it is always a plum-pleasing pleasure to have you with us. You have no idea how much you've influenced us. It's unbelievable. I actually think I've become a much better host since you've come around as well. It's just, it's fantastic. Les, we're going to have to move on to our next speaker. We'll see you again tomorrow on your 3rd session. It is going to be absolutely phenomenal.
Please tell a certain person I've got the ring. Bye for now.
Oh, bye, Liz.
So whoever that certain person is, apparently I need to pass on now that Les has the ring. If that means anything for you, then all right, cool guys. We're going to take that down now in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Head over to realsummits.com/LB. Get in. If you get there and the page is closed, if it says sorry or unfortunately, the deal has now run out. Well, we're not going to take up any more of your time. The poll is up. It looks like there's about 83% of people that have never listened to Paul O'Mahony before. I'm going to hand over to Candace. Candace, tell us a little bit more about our next speaker, Paul O'Mahony.
Thank you, Saj. Imagine having a personal ATM in your pocket wherever you go. Well, the time has come to stop imagining and begin to step into the reality of the world of social media. Paul is a leader in the market and financial empowerment industry, enabling people from all walks of life to create massive value and success, even if they don't have a business, product, or the confidence in sales. So here with us today is the one and only Paul O'Mahony.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody at the Real Success team. Thank you, Candice. Thank you, Saj. Really, really appreciate the introduction. I'm going to do my utmost to live up to that right now. And Especially my biggest commitment is to all of you who are here on a Saturday, right? On a Saturday, I'm sure there's a million other things you could be doing. I'm up here in Dubai. It's late for me, but I don't mind, right? I don't mind because, excuse me, I am here to make this the best possible learning experience for you. So that said, actually, let me get my camera on here and switch over mics as well. One moment. Let me just check with everybody. Can you hear me okay? Type in 1 to the chat if you can hear me okay. Fantastic, fantastic. Well, I'm going to start with a question. I want to ask you, are you an expert at making money on the internet already? Type in yes if you are already an expert at making money on the internet already. Okay, we're not really seeing a whole lot of yeses at this point in time, right? What an interesting start. Well, let me ask you a second question. Like literally there are thousands of people saying no, actually no, not right now. Let me ask you a second question. How many days is it since you last bought something over the internet? So if you bought something today, type in 0. If you bought something yesterday, type in 1. If it was 2 days ago, type in 2. You get it, right? Let me see. So we've got, if I'm looking down, by the way, don't worry, I'm just looking down to see what your answers are. 2, 3, 0, 0, 4, 1, 6, 2 to 3, 2, 0, 7, 1, 11, 9, 48. Wow, that's very specific, Mary. 6, 3, 0. Never. I don't believe you, never. No way. No way, Sanjeet. Never. That's not possible. Well, here's the good news. You are already an expert at making money online. For other people. That's the only problem. For other people. Every single time you buy something online, you are making money online. Every time you press buy, somebody else is making money, right? I bet you didn't think of it that way. Sometimes we overcomplicate things. It's difficult to make money online, yet you make it online every day for other people. Type in me if you are ready to learn how you can start the cash flow moving in your direction rather in the other direction. Type in me right now if that is you. Type in me. Let's see all the me's. That is amazing. We've got me's absolutely everywhere. Me, 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 me. Amazing. Well, let's get jumping in right away because I want to show you how to turn this device, this smartphone, from being the biggest addiction in society and the biggest user of your time to become the biggest asset in your life. What does this device do right now? Well, it's the first thing we see in the morning, right? Literally the first thing we do in the morning is wake up and pick this up and turn off the alarm. Then what do? We carry it with us all day long. We even bring it into the bathroom where nobody else is welcome. And what do we do at nighttime? We kneel down beside our bed, but not to give thanks anymore, but to look for our charger for our phone. We couldn't care less if our partner is charged first thing in the morning, but it's like a living nightmare if we wake up and our phone is only at 12% battery. Type in that's me if that sounds like a fair reflection on your relationship with your smartphone right now. Type in that's me, right? It's absolutely crazy. And we can laugh at it because the world was not like this only a few years ago. And I want to show you how that thing that is capturing all of that energy and time and focus of yours right now and money is also your key to success with whatever it is that you want to do financially moving forward. So I'm so excited to be here. And I just want to start off with some proof that what I'm talking about is absolutely valid and works. Now, I need to update this slide a little bit, but you can see here, let's say November last year, this is from one specific website, $144,000. October, $177,000. August, $146,000. June, just under 100,000. May, 246,000. March, 428,000. And this is like literally month after month after month. If we scroll in here, you can see, for example, today, $11,000, last 7 days, 204,000, last 4 weeks, 552,000, last 12 months, 1.6 million. And here's another account. Today, 718, last 4 weeks, 70,000, last 12 months, 2.14 million. type in, oh yes, if you like the looks of this, and you think, now, without taking it personally and without saying, I don't like this guy already, right? Because I want to show you that I was the ultimate skeptic. If you haven't picked up my accent already, I'm Irish, and we are the most skeptical people on the planet, bar none. So I can assure you, I have come from being on one side of the fence to completely going to the other. And today we are here to rethink social media, to learn how to stop wasting time online and start making money. Type in sound good if that sounds good to you. Thank you for all the lovely Irish comments as well. I'll be sure to pass it on to our fellow population. Okay, so let's jump in here because I want to ask you another question, please. So you can see a slide in front of you right now that is focused on asking you specifically, which bracket do you fall into? Is it, how many of you right now, okay, how many of you right now, I just have, there's some images here of, if you're wondering, does COVID cause a problem? Does COVID cause an issue? I've taken this slide from exactly when COVID kicked in. You can see hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month. COVID, in fact, didn't make any difference whatsoever. In fact, you probably know that most people now want to get online and want to take that opportunity like never before. So my question is, how many of you right now own a business? Type in number one if you own a business. Type in number one if you own a business, please, into the chat. Okay, quite a few ones. Now I know there's literally thousands of you today, which makes sense. Okay, well, you could be using social media better. You absolutely could be making a better use of social media. You mightn't like it, but you could be getting more out of it. Type in 2 if you are the kind of person who wants to be an influencer. And by that, I mean you're comfortable on video, you like talking to people, you have a message you'd like to share. Probably about 15 to 20% of you fall into that bracket where others will think you're just crazy, right? Now, you know that social media can completely transition your business or where you are at today, like literally overnight, when you learn how to use social media correctly, okay? So some of you are going to fall into that bracket, but most of you, I'm looking for this one. Type in 3 if you don't have a business, you don't have any products or services, you may be in a job right now that you're okay with, you're relatively happy with, but you don't really like social media. In fact, you're already wondering, will I even sit through this because I'm not into social media? I'm not really sure if this is something I'm interested in, right? However, if I could somehow make money from making money on social media with somebody else's products, with somebody else's work going into this, where I don't have to deal with any customers or clients or watch selfies of other people taking pictures of their dinner or their kids, right? Type in 3 if you would actually suddenly get very interested in how this works, if you could master that, right? Type in 3, right? Absolutely, right? And I'm going to say guilty as charged. I am in bracket number 3. I started out with no business experience, worked in a corporate job, knew absolutely nothing about the internet, hated social media. And I'm going to let you in a little secret right now. To this day, even though I've written the best-selling book, Rethink Social Media, I don't even like social media. I don't even know why people get up in the morning and start their day off by looking at other people's lives, right? But that's their business. What I want to show you in the next 90 minutes or so is how that opinion you may have of social media is completely holding you back from transitioning into this whole new world where you can make income whether you're awake, whether you're asleep. Now, I know you mightn't believe me right now, but just give me a few minutes and you're going to appreciate how all of this works. Deal? Type in deal if we have an agreement to think, okay, perfect. I really want to know this. I want to know the steps. Well, I'm going to jump in right away and share the steps with you. I'm going to go through the 4-step process with you, right? And it starts off like this. Step 1, pick your niche, or for my American friends that are here right now, your niche in an area that is guaranteed to work, right? That's guaranteed to work. Sometimes advice that's given about just follow your passion and that the money will somehow show up. Sometimes that's a little bit unfounded because it kind of depends on what you're passionate about. So type in the chat, easy, if you prefer to make money the easy way, Or if you'd like to make it the difficult way, feel free to type in difficult, but type in easy if you'd rather make it the easy way, right? The way I look at the internet is, it's like learning how to drive a car, right? Sometimes people, when it comes to the internet, plan on, well, I want the dream car. I want the perfect car. I want a Ferrari. I want a Lamborghini or whatever it is. But they forget that, well, you need to learn how to drive first. You need to learn the rules of the road. You need to get your driver's license. So you do that in a car that's guaranteed to get you from A to B. And that's what it's all about when it's choosing your niche or your niche. You pick what works to begin with, and later you can upgrade to your dream niche or your dream niche, whatever it is that you prefer. Once you've done that, now you use social media to solve people's problems in that niche. Now I'm going to help you with those niches in a moment. Third thing is, just like when you signed up for today's event, you leave your name and email address in exchange for some kind of gift. Your gift today was to be able to listen to this event, okay? You see these all the time. This is a sign of somebody building their business right in front of your eyes. And the fourth step is how to make money from this on an ongoing basis, whether you have your own products or whether you don't. It literally won't make a difference, as you're about to find out today. So let's look at this in a little bit more detail here. Zig Ziglar, who is a very, very well-known speaker in the field of personal development and business, he put it better than anybody when it comes to finding your niche. He says, you can have everything in life you want if you would just help enough other people get what they want. I love that. Focus on giving other people what they want. You'll automatically get what you want, right? So a lot of us have that the wrong way around, right? We think, let me focus on what I want, and hopefully it will happen. I can assure you, if you just give others what they want, you will get whatever it is that you want for the rest of your life. So let's be specific about this. Let's be more specific. What exactly are we talking about? But let me give you three very specific examples. Health, wealth, and happiness. No matter where you go across the globe, no matter what country you visit, no matter what continent you go to, these are the predominant needs of and wants of most people. They want to be healthier, they want to be healthier, they want to be happier. What's beautiful about these three areas is that you cannot solve your health issues, your wealth issues, or your happiness issues with one purchase. They become addictive. The healthier you are, the wealthier you are, the happier you are, the more you go back to the well and the more you spend in those areas, right? So whichever one of these you choose, you're actually able to set up a long-term solution that can actually make you money over and over again. One of the worst things you can do in business is actually, and you'll have heard different advice in the past, but you'll understand why I'm giving you contrarian advice here. One of the worst things you can do is have a business where what you do is solve a problem once and then the person doesn't need you again. For example, let's say your business is helping people to stop smoking and that's all you do. Well, the moment that person is successful, your business becomes a failure, right? Because you can't keep contacting them saying, hey, I know I helped you stop smoking last week, but now I have a new product to help you stop smoking this week. You're like, no, seriously, we're good. We're done, right? So you don't want to be solving a one-off problem where your only solution to keep your business going is to go and find somebody else and find somebody else again. Rather, you want to focus on a broader spectrum where people will continue to come back to you because they trust you. And here's the thing, in health, wealth, and happiness, you don't even need to have a single product of your own because there are already hundreds of thousands of amazing products that already exist in these areas, right? So type in makes sense, if that makes sense to you right now. If you're starting to think, okay, that makes sense. Because what I want you to do right now is at home, write down on your notes which one of these you're going to choose. You don't want to do all three at once. Right? You want to pick one. You want to focus on just one specific one of these, right? So write down at home or in the chat if you wish, which one you're going to go after, health, wealth, or happiness. And don't worry about the products. As I say, we'll talk about that in a few moments. Okay, I see lots of you putting in nice mixture here, health, wealth, happiness, nice mixture. Happiness would be like personal development, you know, Robin Sharma, Deepak Chopra, Eric Thomas, they would all kind of fall into that field. Okay, so let's now go in a little bit deeper and figure out step two, because this is where social media comes in. Why do we use social media? Not because we like it, not because we have any particular attraction to it. Some of you, of course, love it, but most of you probably don't. You're neutral or actually detest it in many cases. The reason we use it, going back to Zig Ziglar's point, is we can have whatever we want if we give other people what they want, right? So if you look at this simple formula here of three little people sitting together, one with a green jigsaw puzzle, one with a red, and one with a blue. This is a really simple overview of how this works. On the left is a person with the green jigsaw puzzle. Now, you have probably been told since you were a child that everything you know is going to change, right? Not true. Especially in business. One of the worst things you can do in business is to pick an area that's going to constantly change, because you'll always feel that the ground is moving under you and you're constantly chasing it. So I totally believe in picking something that's guaranteed to stay the same. Now, you might think that's not possible, but bear with me a moment. Can you imagine a day in the future that you're going to wake up some morning and say, I've just run out of problems. I've just run out of problems. They're gone. That's weird, right? But yeah, that's it, right? You know that's never going to happen. You are never going to wake up and say, that's it, my problems are gone. The day that happens, you're waking up probably beneath the ground, right? Anybody above the ground has a degree of problems that they want to solve. So the first thing we do is we focus on solving problems, because problems never go away, ever. So the person on the left is a person with normal problems. The person on the right are my number ones from earlier, the business owners, the entrepreneurs. One of my favorite quotations about entrepreneurs is from Laurie Greiner, the lady who was the focus of the movie Joy a few years ago, where she invented the squeezy mop that was sold on QVC. She says, entrepreneurs are the only people I know that work 80 hours a week to avoid a 40-hour-a-week job. Type in, ouch, if you're an entrepreneur and you go, that hurts. That hurts. Because it's so true, right? If you are in a traditional type of business, 96% of the time, you will go out of business. 96% of entrepreneurs fail with their business, right? Why? Well, for many reasons. But one of them is that people get into business because they love a particular aspect of it, but they have no idea how to do the sales. They don't even like it. They don't know how to do the marketing. They don't enjoy the accounting, the finance, and they realize that getting into business is something completely different to what they thought. But what if you do this? What if you position yourself in the middle, right? Where we have our smiling friend here. Why don't you introduce the best solutions of businesses to the people that are already looking for them? So that you don't have to constantly think about, where is my next idea coming from? Where is my next product or service coming from? Constantly feeling drained and exhausted that you're chasing and chasing and chasing, right? That's why most entrepreneurs will give up eventually, because they'll think, I was just better off at a job. At least I didn't have the pressure of having to pay the bills for other people. So what's so amazing about this is all the products that people already want already exist. And the products that people are going to want to buy next month, they're going to come out next month. The products that people are going to want to buy in 2023, they're going to come out in 2023. You don't need to stress. Somebody else is going to create it for you. Type in aha if you've just had an aha moment and think, oh my God, why haven't I thought of this before? Or why haven't I been shown this before? Well, the thing is, sometimes we are so close to the woods that we don't see the woods from the trees. Because look at Uber, the world's largest taxi company. They don't own any cars. Facebook, the world's largest social media company. It doesn't create any content. Alibaba, the world's largest store, doesn't have any inventory. Airbnb, the world's largest accommodation provider, doesn't own any real estate. And the list goes on. Booking.com, Hotels.com, Expedia.com, Trivago.com. They don't own any hotels and they haven't even visited them. Amazon don't write any books. They sell other people's books. It's hard to write books. eBay, they don't create products. They sell other people's products. And what about good old banks? Banks have been around for a long, long time. They don't print money. They just take money off the first person in the line and they sell it to the person next in the line and charge interest to keep that person interested in coming back and doing it again. Now type in light bulb if you've just had a bit of a light bulb moment and realized, oh my God, this is right in front of my eyes and I've never even noticed it until now, right? It's pretty insane, right? The biggest companies in the world, they're worth billions and billions of dollars. Some of these are going to be worth trillions of dollars very soon by taking and completely de-risking their businesses and saying, yeah, we don't want to do the risky stuff that everybody is taught how to do in business school. We're going to take this very different. right? So this is the concept that I want to introduce. Well, we have a lot of light bulbs going on across the world right now. This is the concept I want to share with you, right? We're going to start up here, up nice and high, and then work our way down to the tactical about how this will operate for you on a day-to-day basis, okay? Now, the natural Irish person within you, or the leprechaun within you, will say, yeah, but come on now, Paul. And I know I was in the chat earlier, there's a few Irish people, a few Northern Irish people, so I know you're thinking this already. Yeah, but if it's not great, why isn't everybody else doing it, right? That's what we constantly ask ourselves. That is one of the craziest questions that you can ever ask. And let me explain why. 99.6% of the entire planet are not millionaires. Let me repeat. 99.6% of people on the planet are not millionaires. But the first time we see a good idea, we ask ourselves, why are the people that are not millionaires not doing this? I want to know why the people without all the money are not doing this, because until I know that they are doing this, then I won't do it. Do you see the madness in that question? Right? It's like, no, I'm only going to do it if the people without the money start doing it. The question should be, are the wealthy people doing this? And how do I start to do what the wealthy people are doing? And as Tony Robbins says, success leaves clues. Well, if he had an Irish accent, he would say something more like, success leaves clues. And he's correct. He's completely correct, because we want to follow the example of what works rather than what doesn't. Now, my opinion was very simply this. Yeah, but the internet's a scam, right? We all know that, right? We all know that. By the way, sorry, give me your credit card details again. I need to book flights for next week. Oh, sorry, can I have the credit card again? I need to book the hotel. I forgot to do. Oh, sorry, can I have a debit card? They're looking for that to book my rental car. Oh, sorry, can I have my credit card? Right? We call it a scam, and at the exact same time, we continue to pump money into it every day of the week. It's a mindset issue. I look at the internet this way. It's the biggest bank in the world, and most people every day make deposits into that bank. And the greatest opportunity of all time is that most people on the planet think it's a complete scam to even consider making withdrawals from that bank. They go, come on. How could you possibly make money from this thing that I only put money into, right? Type in, if you actually see that is kind of funny that, yeah, I've no problem giving it money, but I've this major mental block about taking some money back out of it, right? That's what I want to share with you right now, because it's other people that have given you that view, right? It's other people that have told you. And by the way, they're the same people that are pumping money into the internet as we speak, right? And then you've got COVID. You look at, the whole world has changed, but for the better in many ways. Because 2 years ago, it was considered insane to even think about working from home. Now the likes of Twitter say, hey, employees, you never need to come back to the office. They're closed. You are working from home permanently. That has become normal now. And in fact, the only question that people need to ask themselves now is, well, I now know I can make money from home in front of a computer and I'm getting paid to do it. The only question is, do I want to be my boss, or do I want to continue to work for another boss? So the tiny little belief systems have been chugging along nicely over the last couple of years, where people are actually realizing, I actually like getting up and working from home and being able to organize and not have to get in traffic every day. So it's the perfect time for you to jump in right now before the entire planet decide that making money from home is the best way of all, right? And if you actually look at this number here, 1.7, this is a big number, $1.7 trillion. This number here right now. Now, remember, most people think the internet's a scam. This is the frame, or the pre-frame I want to give you. We think the internet's a scam. Then we look at this number, $1.7 trillion. This is the US government's #1 asset on their balance sheet. $1.7 trillion. Anybody want to guess what this is while I have a quick drink from my Lion King mug? Thank you, Trish, for the coffee. $1.7 trillion. Yes, some of you have got it right. Right? Some of you saying coffee, some saying gold. It's the outstanding student loan debt. Outstanding student loan debt. You heard me correctly. That's the number. The US government's number one asset is money borrowed by students so that they can get a job. Think about the madness of that. Somehow, I think that people are looking in the wrong direction when it comes to scams. That you need to go backwards financially in order to go forwards. Think this is a real reality check, right? I want you right now at home to think, do me a favor. Think about a real child in real life. It might be your own child, a nephew, a niece, a grandchild, who's anywhere between age 4 and age 12. Right? And just type in, yep, yes, when you've done that. Just think about them. Just bring them into your mind's eye for a moment and think who they are. Okay, great. Now think about somebody you know that's in their mid-20s. Okay, and just type in done when you've done that. Type in done when you've done that little exercise. You don't have to like them. Might be you, might be someone you love, might be someone you hate, doesn't matter. Just a real person in real life. Now type into the chat. Who is better off financially? Type in 5 if it's the 5-year-old. Type in 25 if it's the 25-year-old. Right? Because it doesn't matter where you live in the world, the 25-year-old is worse off financially than the 5-year-old. They might think they're better off, right? Because they have a house and they have a mortgage, right? Remember, mortgage, by the way, comes from the Latin word mortier, meaning death. Mortgage literally means acquiring debt until death. You can see why mortgage brokers are quite happy that Latin isn't used too often right now. Hi, would you like to borrow some debt until death? No, I'm here for a mortgage. Yeah, that's what we do. We sell debt until death. No, you not want it? If you understood Latin, you might start questioning, hang on, but what do we do? We think, well, everybody else is doing it, so it should be fine, right? Our natural state of beliefs is that if we do what everybody else is doing, we're going to be okay. Yet, we're not happy with the results that everybody else has, right? So we live in a world where you're expected to go backwards financially. Once you hit 17, 18, 19, now you are going to go into debt. If you're the average doctor in the US, you don't get out of that debt until you are 54, 55 years of age, right? That's the world we live in. I'm here to let's rethink all of this. Let's think, well, how do we reset the button here? Look at the numbers, right? The average university in the US, $37,000 a year, $48,000 a year for an Ivy League type college, right? So I know it's different in different countries, but here's the thing. The average person in a first world country around the world, $600,000 is the average interest that you pay in debt on loans in a lifetime. $600,000. The average cost to raise a child nowadays is close on $300,000 to bring them from birth to age 17. So if you're wondering where your money has gone, have a look around the kitchen table later today and see how grateful they are for literally eating into your wealth, right? But it's really refreshing, I think, from time to time, from somebody to just kind of call this out and think about the madness of the situation that we are training our children, our next generation, that the only way to become successful financially is get so far into debt that somehow you're going to be given an opportunity to work your way back out of the problem that you created over the next 20 years, and you should be grateful for it, right? So let's go and change that, because I'm here to reposition this completely for you so you can rethink it. When it comes to the internet, you can literally decide how much money you want to make based on the size of your email list. It's called a mailing list. Sometimes it's called a database or a database. But on average, you should be making, and let's give you some very specific numbers here, $1, £1, €1 per person in your database every single month. So I want to make sure that you all fully understand this. If you have 1,000 people on your email list, how much money should you expect to make every single month? Just type it into the chat there. Right, $1,000, absolutely, right? Now, what if you decide, that's not enough for me. I want to get in $5,000 a month, right? What do? You build a list of 5,000 people. If you want to make $10,000 a month, you build a list of 10,000 people. Now, I know there's lots of questions going on in your mind, but how come that happens, and what do I sell and all, right? One step at a time. I just want you to get the concept first, because this is the key to your financial freedom, is understanding that you don't have to exchange time for money. That's what we've been taught in school. When you ask a child, what do you want to do when you grow up? If they say a singer, they go, no, go again. A dancer, no, it's not going to happen. A professional football player, no, that's not going to happen. What you want to hear is lawyer, doctor, accountant, right? Something that's going to get paid by the hour, right? That's how much we're conditioned that we actually think it's successful if we think the children are going to be paid by the hour. That's the trap. When you build an email list, you're no longer paid by the hour. You're paid by the size of the list and the value you provide to those people. And let me give you a specific example of why this is so cool. If it costs you, let's say, $1 from an ad, like a Facebook ad or something, to get an email, right? Then you should be making $1 from each email address every month on average. It doesn't mean you're selling something for $1. That just works out at the average, right? So that means you spend $1 in return for $12 back in a year. That's a return on investment of 1,100% per year. And let me ask you, how much money are you risking, in inverted commas, to get an 1,100% return on investment? $1. $1. This is the ultimate business model, and it's why I haven't moved from it from the last 12 years, because once $1 makes you 12, what are you going to do with your next dollar? You're going to say, well, I want to make 2 to make me 24. I want 10 to make me 120. I want 100 to make me 1,200. And that's how an online business works. You have multiple income streams, as many as you like, where you literally get to decide, right, how much money you want to make based on the size of the list that you want to build, and you become in complete control, right? And you're never going to wake up in the morning and wonder that the stock market go up or down, because it's completely separate to that. In fact, if any of your ad campaigns stop working, you just press pause. Imagine being able to look at the stock market, and if the chart is going against you, and if you could just say, could you just pause there, please, Bitcoin, just stop right there, right? Of course, you can't do that. That sounds insane. But when it comes to your online business, you can completely do that. You get to put as much as you wish. You have completely independent income streams, as many as you like, over and over again. Type in sounds amazing. If you are genuinely right now getting excited, oh my God, that sounds amazing. Now, I know you don't know how to do it, but that's what's coming next, right? Let me see how many amazings we've got coming in here right now. Fantastic, right? Fantastic. So here's the key thing, right? We're not trying to sell on social media. We're not trying to annoy people. We're not trying to go, hey, buy my stuff, right? Nobody likes that. We want to instead invite people onto our database, onto our mailing list. And the money is made in private through email. You offer them products and services that are the best selling in the industry. And if they want to buy them, great. If they don't want to buy them, there's no problem, right? So just because you get annoyed by what you see on social media doesn't mean that that's what you're going to do. And that's so many times where people go wrong, is they make assumptions over and over again. And you know, the word assume makes an ass of you and me, right? So never make an assumption about something that you haven't done before. Instead, just follow the trail, follow the money. Look at what, as I said, success leaves clues. Now, do I have your permission to give you a little bit of a background about who I am and how I've ended up speaking to you here today? Please type in, go on. So if I'm allowed to give you a little bit of my background story. Now, to be honest, even if you don't say go on, so I'm gonna do it because I've created the slides for you anyway. Right? But I'll go through it quickly because it's so important that you get, from my perspective, I want to know who's talking to me. I want to know, is there any level of credibility here? You know, the chances are, though, you already you know that you're probably resonating with me because I'm normal. It's probably the best compliment that you could ever receive as a speaker, is that I like him because he's just normal. I used to get offended by it, but now I know what that means, because I remind people of themselves. And I'll tell you why that is the case. Yes, this is what I look like under the t-shirt, in case you were wondering. Of course it is. But I get to live this, I would say, very blessed life. And I'm extremely grateful for this. Right? I'm in Cyprus right now as I speak. I generally get to live here 3 to 4 months of the year. I travel pre-COVID at least 130 times a year in the plane. And I get to go to amazing places across the world, teaching helping and inspiring people and get paid to do it. I mean, I can't say I'm living the dream because I didn't even think this was possible. But the thing is, I was so close to never going online because I had my own preconceptions around what that meant. I thought, number one, you'd need to be a complete computer geek. Number two, you'd need to love sitting in front of a computer every day, which I don't do. Number three, you'd need to have your own product and service. Number four, you'd need to have the entrepreneurial bug that you hear people talk about. I've got both my parents are teachers. I want to let that sink in across the world right now. Can you imagine that? Every morning waking up and your parents are actually teachers? Yeah, I know. There should be a recovery group for people like me, right? But you can just imagine. School never finished, right? In the summertime, it was a chance to catch up on schoolwork. Santa Claus, for some reason, had an obsession about my report card. I didn't even know why Santa cared so much, but he seemed to care about my maths and my English, and it was just nuts, right? But here's the thing. That's what a lot of people think about an internet business, but I don't do any of that. I do the bits that I enjoy, right? Speaking, traveling, teaching. But you can outsource whatever it is that you don't like to other people who are more specialized than you for as little as $3 to $4 an hour. And the reason why it's so little is because you train them on how to do it and you pay them at the same time. So it's a win-win situation for them. They're getting trained, so they don't have to pay to get trained, and they're getting paid at the same time. So it's like a paid internship. And this is the beauty of globalization, is that there are people across the globe. It could be Australia, it could be the Philippines, it could be Africa, it could be in the US, it could be in the UK and Europe. It doesn't matter. You can get people for $3 to $4 an hour who will work for you and do this when you know what you're doing. And I want to show a picture to you of the exact moment when I had this aha moment. And it was in an event in Dublin a few years ago. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong picture. That's a different event later tonight. Here it is. This is back in 2009 in Dublin. I'm sitting at the front row of an event. That's me there. Oops. That's me there with the glasses. And I'm looking up at the stage. I'd never been to an event like this before. The speakers were primarily, and God bless the USA, but the speakers were primarily American. Now, I don't mean to be offensive for any Americans here. I know there's lots of you, but you might get what I mean here. They had clearly never been to Ireland before. Remember what I told you earlier about us being skeptical? Yeah, they didn't know about that. The first speaker, he got up on stage and he said, point at the person next to you and tell them they're awesome. We're like, really? Use the word awesome in actual day-to-day life? Like, we just see that in Friends. We don't use that word, right? Then we realized, oh my God, he's being serious. We thought he was being sarcastic. Then we realized, oh, no, Americans don't use sarcasm that often. Oh, that's actually funny. The second speaker said, stand up and massage the shoulders of the person next to you. We're Irish. We don't even touch our own family, right? Let alone strangers. To this day, we're confused. Why are all these signs up saying stay 2 meters apart? Why does COVID make us have to get closer together? We don't understand. Surely we could just have stayed the way we were, right? The reason we drink is not because we enjoy it. It's because when the lights go out, we need to procreate, right? We need to get close together, right? I don't need to do a drawing, I hope, right? And those of you that are Irish or know any Irish people will totally get my humor here, because we are so freaking skeptical, right? So this was the perspective that I'm coming from. So if you go back to the slide for just one moment and you look at me sitting in the room, there's people with their arms folded. People are actually thinking about leaving. And then the third speaker got up on stage and he totally picked up the vibe in the room. And he said, I get it. He said, there's a big issue going on here. He said, the thing is, the ultimate irony here is, he said, you think we're here to brainwash you. He said, you're so brainwashed, you actually don't understand what's happening here. He said, let me explain. Hands up, teenagers, hands up. There was only a few teenagers. Now, he said, keep your hand up if you are in debt. And the teenagers took their hands down. He said, great, okay, that's that over with. Now, hands up if you're in your 20s. Keep your hand up if you're in debt. Hands up those of you in your 30s. Keep your hands up if you're in debt. Hands up if you're in your 40s. Keep your hands up if you're in debt. Hands up if you're in your 50s. Keep your hands up if you're in debt. He said, look around the room. and you think we're trying to brainwash you, he said, here is the ultimate brainwash from your educational system. You believe that wealth is connected to qualifications. You believe that wealth is directly related to the letters you get after your name, like BA, BS, MBA, PhD. He said, I found as a high school dropout that a much more accurate measure of wealth rather than letters after your name are numbers in your bank account. And I'll never forget when he said that, because it was like I got hit with a sledgehammer on the chest, because no one had ever called me out like that before. I was 30 years of age. I was $500,000 in debt, negative equity from 2 houses that I bought at the peak of the Celtic Tiger, because that's what you were supposed to do. Somehow I had got $500,000 into debt by doing everything right. I had a good job. I worked in a corporation, a US multinational. Everybody around me, including my family, goes, oh, look at him, he's doing great. But the thing is, nobody looks and checks your bank accounts to realize that you're living a complete facade. You are living way beyond your means. Type in, that's me, if that has happened to you at some point in your life and you've questioned it and you thought, how is this? How is this charade continuing to go on, right? But the beauty about this is that you get to decide in an instant that it ends, right? Because I ended up at that event and I didn't even bring a credit card on the first day. I ended up purchasing 3 programs from 3 separate speakers, all about how to make money on the internet. Because this was the way I eventually came to think about it. I said, well, what's the worst that could happen? Because if I keep doing what I always did, I'm going to keep getting what I always got. But what if these guys are right? What if these crazy speakers, right, are actually correct? And guess what? $50 million later, turns out they were correct. And that's from being the most skeptical Irish person there to actually appreciating that, you know what, sometimes you got to let your ego get out of the way and appreciate that other people have gone before you, they've treaded that, they've walked that path, and they have figured it out. So I told you already, I thought the internet was a scam. If everybody else was doing it, why wouldn't it? And we're all in the same boat. What's the problem? The problem is we're all on the freaking Titanic and it's going down. And all people are doing is saying, would you just forget about it? There's no problem here, right? As the water rises up. And then Jimmy is getting into the lifeboat. He said, don't worry about crazy Jimmy and his crazy ideas. Guys, you cannot learn how to become financially free from people who are financially enslaved. Please write that down. You cannot learn how to become financially free from people who are financially enslaved. I can guarantee you the people who advise you the loudest around you, around money, have either less money than you or are certainly not on the path to financial freedom. As we say in Ireland, the empty can makes the most noise. It doesn't make them bad people, but never confuse friendship with financial advice. Yes, they both start with F, right? But so do other words, right? You got to be careful. Friendship and financial advice should not and are not the same, right? Type in amen if you are starting to think that's very true. Of course, it's ironic that the ship that would never sink was built in Ireland, right? We have a sense of humor. Now, here's the thing. I want to get you into a lifeboat. I want to get you into a speedboat and get as far away from that sinking ship as possible, because Einstein, a much smarter guy than me, says, well, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. But that's what most people do every day of the week. The exact same thing. And they're expecting miracles. And that's why I want to applaud you for showing up, to listen to somebody you've never heard before, speak about something you've probably never heard talked about in this way before, because you are already different. And I guarantee you that a lot of you here today have had to tell a little fib as to what you're doing right now. I'm just going to the coffee shop. I'm just catching up on some work. I'm just going to watch that Netflix series I need to catch up on. Yeah, Bridgerton, the one you don't want to watch, right? Type in black sheep. If you are that black sheep that actually has to lie about wanting to be more successful, right? While you're put on this planet to do more, to be more, to have more, to resonate more, to shine more, to give more, to inspire more, you shouldn't be embarrassed about it. It should be the opposite. And that's why I want to applaud you for being here, because today is the first step on that path. You just need to decide that this is your moment. You just need to decide that this is your moment. I'm going to ask you a question in a moment. For me, it took just less than 1 year to make my first $1 million online. It would have taken me, I don't know how many years or lifetimes in work to do that. As I said, I've gone to do that about 50 times over since. But the thing about it all is, and it's so important to add humor to this, because sometimes we take ourselves too seriously. But every speaker I heard at that event constantly talked about how they had this incredible upbringing where they were born in a hospital, they were mixed up as babies, and somehow were put in a local river in a reed basket, and they were rescued by wolves. They were raised in a forest by wolves for 7 years. Then they set up a little heroin factory out there that was going really well. Then they got into the quality assurance department and got a little bit of a taste for their own product. But fortunately, a National Geographic television crew found them, saved them, checked them into a Betty Ford clinic. And then at age 18, they were released. They found Jesus, they found a Wi-Fi connection, and they made millions of dollars. And I just looked around me and said, somebody needs to close this hospital. How come all the speakers seem to have the same story, right? But just so you don't feel left out, I've embellished my story just a little bit. This is where I'm from, Limerick in Ireland. You can type in L if you've been in Limerick before, also known as Stab City. We need to work on our branding, absolutely. So this is the river that I was rescued from. There's the grassy knoll where I was raised by wolves. Of course, that's the castle where I live right now with my 15 Lamborghinis. But this is me as a 7-year-old. Now, before you start laughing, this is actually me, right? Making my first Holy Communion. You think, God, what happened? My God, time wasn't very kind to him. What do you think happened? I'm Irish. Alcohol happened. Alcohol happened. And I took Tony Robbins' advice a little bit too literally when he said, follow your passion. I followed my passion. And this is where I ended up sleeping for most of the 90s. But I got lucky. Because one day by my trolley, somebody left a laptop with a Wi-Fi dongle plugged in. Yeah, that's me with a beard. And I ended up making millions of dollars, right? That just seems to be the standard story, right? But here's the thing. Obviously, that ain't true, right? Both my parents, as I said, are teachers. So you can imagine, as I'm walking home from school each day, and you get close to home, you're like, why am I rushing? What's the point? I've got 2 more teachers to meet me when I get in the door, who knew all the teachers personally. You can just imagine how parent-teacher meetings went in our house, right? Then I went and followed exactly what I was supposed to do. Go to college, get yourself some letters after your name, don't go get yourself a good job. And I worked in a corporate job for 9 years, right? But this moment, everything changed for me. And I can tell you, the biggest thing of all is getting your own ego out of your way. I woke up on that day, looked at all these people and realized they remind me of the people in my class who were the C students, right? The people who got the A's in my class are working for other people. The people who got the C's are the people making the most money, the people ruling the world, right? It only takes a simple decision to decide that this is your time. That moment in 2009, February 2009, everything changed for me. I want you right now to grab your phone and take a picture, a selfie of you looking at me, looking at you, because this is your time. You get to decide it. That's the beauty of this. You get to decide. Type into the chat right now, once you've taken your picture, this is my time. This is my time, because this is your time. You get to decide that I start again. Everything that happened until now is experience. Just know that this is the youngest you're ever going to be. It's also the most experienced you've ever been. There is no better time than right now, than getting started, than learning something new. Being too old, being too beautiful, being too ugly, being too young, being too technically challenged. None of these excuses matter anymore. You just decide, it's my time. I start again. New year, new beginnings. It all starts right now. Wow. Oh my God, there's like literally thousands of it's my times going off right now, as it should be. So this is your moment. This is your before the diet picture. This is the one you're going to come back to and say, that's the one, that's the moment, right? Thank you for those of you saying, I look young now. Yeah, that's what millions of dollars on plastic surgery will do for you. Right? But no story would be complete without this man. Type into the chat if you recognize who this is. What is this guy's name? Yes, of course, it's Tony. So after I went to that event in Dublin, I bought those 3 courses. I started hearing about this guy called Tony Robbins. I went to my boss. I said, hi, Dara. I want to go to see this event in New York City. It's to make me a better leader. Now, he didn't know it was in New York City. He didn't know it was on St. Patrick's weekend. So I thought, by the way, he said, yeah, sure. He didn't quite appreciate what was about to happen. So off I went, right? New York City, St. Patrick's weekend. I was thinking, how could this possibly go wrong? How wrong was I? 3,000 people in New Jersey, Secaucus, New Jersey. 3,000 people. When Tony Robbins came out on stage, it was like a combination of the Pope and Kim Kardashian and Dalai Lama. Everybody went insane. And he came out and he was jumping around, and I didn't know anything about him. I hadn't even put him on YouTube. And Tony says, as he does in his very gentle voice, everybody, I want you to jump around like complete lunatics. I said, what? What did he just say? And as I looked around, 2,993 people were jumping around like complete lunatics. I said, what the hell? By the way, I went over to a corner where there were 7 people standing, 3 Germans and 3 English people going, what is this? I said, I know, what is this? Right? I started finding the closest exit. You couldn't make this up. As I started to walk away, I bumped into somebody. He had ginger hair and freckles. He couldn't have been more Irish if he tried. He was literally the poster boy for Irish person. And I said, I just want you to know before you say anything, I didn't use my money to be here. My boss paid for this. He said, forget the money. Forget the money. I've already written it off. I know what this is. I've seen it on the Discovery Channel. This is a cult. This is a cult. Now I know how they're going to get us to go across the fire tonight. We're all going to drink suicide tablets, and then they're going to get rid of the evidence in the coals and burn us. I said, I think you're probably right. He said, well, we just go for a drink. I mean, it is New York after all. It is St. Patrick's weekend. And I said, yeah, I suppose no one will ever know. And just as I was about to go and join my new drinking buddy, Tony says, oh, by the way, those of you not dancing, you're walking on fire tonight. If you don't do everything I say, you're going to burn. I said, well, feck it, Tony. All right, off I go. So off I went, started jumping.